All right, here we go, folks. Welcome in. Happy Monday. It is Monday, and that's exciting. What's going on, guys? Hi, I'm Charity. Nice to see y'all. Ooh, what a weekend. What a weekend. Whiskey Neat is here. Jenna, I'm happy to see you. Sheila, what's going on? Nene. Stephanie is here. Welcome in, you guys. I'm so happy to see all of you. It has been an interesting couple days. Bailey, what is good? Stephanie, every time I see your name, it makes me so happy because that was my mama's name. Brian is here. Diddley's here. Joel. Tony is here. Happy Monday, you guys. How was the weekend? How was y'all's weekend? What were you doing? What were you up to? Were you working? Were you playing? Were you doing Christmassy things? My weekend wasn't terrible. It was very loud in my house. It was very, very loud. I'm just pulling all this up, you guys, here, getting everything set up for the day. Amanda is here. Hello, Amanda. Welcome in. Happy to see you. Nikki Mambo is here. All right, you guys, we are going to kick this off. So missed you guys on Friday. Didn't go garage sailing on Saturday. So I didn't do a garage sale haul. It was really super rainy here. And people in Texas, like in Washington, when I lived up in Washington State, people do garage sales in the snow. Doesn't matter. We're so used to weather up there. But here in Texas, people are not used to it. So there was like 0 garage sales on Saturday. So I was like, well, I guess I'm staying home and getting work done, which was good. I got a bunch of stuff done around the house, which was fantastic. Curated by Britt is here. Good to see you guys. Thanks for the hearts. Thanks for the sharing. Feel free to share this out so we can get more people in the live. So long story short, I wasn't on Friday because some of y'all may remember we were going to have plumbers come like last Thursday. Well, they came, and first it was a $3,200 fix. Then it was a $5,000 fix. And by Friday evening, we were up to $5,900. So they had to literally dig underneath my entire house, go all the way into the middle of the house, and replace the entire long septic piping system that ran out, because the whole thing, it had broke, but it had broken a spot where they had to like go further up to reset the whole thing so that it would flow in the right direction. Otherwise, we would just have this issue again. So Merry Christmas to Justin and I. For Christmas this year, we have plumbing. So that is exciting. However, nothing like getting a $5,900 bill for plumbing right before Christmas. And the reason I wasn't on live is because, guys, y'all, it was so loud. It was like for like 48 hours of this. I was living with like headphones on. It was insane. Anyways, long story short, very long story there, short. Well, maybe not so short. It was an interesting weekend. So I hope y'all had a better end of week, beginning of weekend than we did. Okay, let's get stuff shipped out here. All right, we are starting out today, it looks like, with shoes. So you guys know I sell tons of Converse. So let's see, we got these at a garage sale for $2. And I sold them for, it looks like 25. And they're staying in Texas, so shipping should be great. Now, what's great about Converse is you can normally pick these up at garage sales, yard sales, and stuff like that for pretty inexpensive, because people don't realize that these can clean up fairly easily. So easiest way to clean up Converse if you get them is pop the laces out first. They will wash and look much better if you take the laces out. So take the laces out first, then toss them in the washing machine. Now, if you have an agitator in the middle of your washing machine, I encourage you to put them in a pillowcase and tie a knot around the top. Otherwise, what happens is the agitator in the center kind of beats up on the shoe a little bit. So I just dump them in the laundry with a little bit of, I use like a scent-free Arm & Hammer, a little OxyClean, and a little Color Safe bleach. I do them on like a cool rinse so the colors don't bleed too bad. And then when they come out of the wash, I just let them air dry. I pull the tongues facing forward, let them air dry, and then put your laces back in after you clean the laces. Now, if the laces are busted, and this actually works really, really well. So if the laces are super busted and the whole, like, put them in with bleach and none of that seems to work, buy new laces. You can get them on the Smile Amazon store for super cheap. It winds up being about $1.26 a pair, and I just tack that onto my price. So these ones are ones that came with these, and these actually cleaned up nicely. But a lot of times I will put new laces in. On my listings where I have new laces, I also put new laces because people like to see that. They're more likely to snag them up if you do that. All right, let's get these suckers shipped. We're going to get a little bit of foam and get these puppies going. Oh, it's very dark, yeah. All right, what do we got? Diddly Squad, I'm happy to see you. Lynette at the Alamo is here. Resell by Stephanie. Thrifty Swifty. All right, so same thing as usual here. I'm just going to wrap my shoes up. Now, for Converse or any shoe, I put them together just like you would see them in a shoe box. So one going one way, one going the other way. I think the trick with these is to make sure that they don't touch. One of the reasons that your shoe orders get, like if you get returns or complaints, is a lot of times they'll scuff in shipping. And that's because the shoes actually rub on each other. So we don't want to do that. We want our shoes to not rub. Now, once you've got them looking like this, and you can do this with paper. You don't have to do this with foam. I just have a surplus of foam. Oh, are you okay, baby? I just have a surplus of foam. So that's what I'm using. So once you kind of do your little triangle wrap and get them looking like that, then you can take and do this the other direction. So take these, see how this is going front ways here. Just pop it back the opposite way. And then that way you're getting padding on the front and padding on the back. Little trick I learned. I either learned it from somebody or I just did it one day. I don't really remember. So we're going to get these all snuggled in here. We're going to pop a cute little candy sticker, put them in here. I didn't see what y'all say you did this weekend. Anybody do anything interesting? Somebody in here has to have done something interesting. Tell me good stories of all the awesome things you did this weekend because ours was so loud. Man, I'm telling you right now, I think if I had to be a plumber, like, first of all, nobody wants to do that job. That guy was like, 2 people had to come and actually dig out the hole underneath of the house. And then the plumber guy came, and he was under there for like 2 days. Like 2 days underneath someone's house. I mean, that's got to be like, no wonder it's so expensive. That's got to be like so sketchy. I cannot even imagine being underneath there. And we went out, Justin got pictures of them actually underneath the house. It's so weird to like take a picture of like a human underneath your house. Like, it was super weird. So, user 84, what's good? Jen Tangled, happy to see you today. Oh, Bailey, it always makes me happy to see you as well. All right, so once I've got these kind of in here, now the reason I do saran wrap in this is so that once you go like this in shipping, it is not going to move. And then these shoes always fit in the 15 by 12 bags very, very easily. We're going to pop those in. We're going to seal these up and get them shipped on their way to whoever's getting them. I feel like a Christmas elf this time of year doing this, which is kind of exciting and kind of fun. All right. Let's see, back to there. Perfect. Done. And let's get these shipped. So anything that I ship that's over £1, I always ship on Pirate Ship. I don't know why. It's just less expensive for me to use Pirate Ship. I think just where I am in the country, if I ship stuff straight out of eBay, it's always more expensive. So we're going to ship this straight out of the old Pirate Ship. This is going to Carolyn in Fort Worth, Texas. Carolyn, you're getting some nice shoes today. They're going to look amazing on you. Let's put our specs in here. So we've got 12 by 6 by 3 and a weight of, drum roll please, a weight of 1 pound, 11 ounces. 1 pound, 11 ounces for our shoes. Getting rates on that. Hey, Coley. Hey, Thrifty Swifty. Happy to see you guys. Flood to Fancy is here. ATX 2010. Thrifty says, I just finished my Jamble trading. Got to schedule my first show. Woohoo! Make sure you invite me to it. That's fantastic. Oh, we've got a Jamble show. Oh my gosh, I think it's tomorrow, actually. Yeah, it is tomorrow. Woo! I got to get prepped for that. I'm doing plush. I have so much plush. I literally have like vintage plush. I've got new plush with tags. Most of it, I think, is new with tags, I believe. I'm closing it out. I need room in my garage. I'm selling flush for hella cheap. We're gonna move on. All right, we're gonna buy this label here. And so we're paying $6.29 for shipping. And we'll take a look and see what Carolyn paid for shipping here. We're gonna copy that. We're gonna print this out. We're going to send it to Carolyn in Texas. She's gonna get some shoes. She's gonna be so happy to have a nice clean pair of shoes. All right, printing this out. This is gonna go UPS SurePost. So let's take a look and see what she paid for shipping. So she paid $9.80, so we made about $1 in shipping. After all the taxes and our original investment, we probably made about 20 bucks on these shoes. So not bad. That's about standard for me with Converse. I would say that I make anywhere between like 20 if they're like super rough to like 35 if they're like a little bit more specialty. I've made even more on some of them that are like the super like all-terrain, like high top to the knees crazy things, but that's about standard for me. Now, I could probably make $4 more on them if I was willing to sit on them in my store, but y'all know, turn and burn, baby, that's the name of the game. Get it in your store and get it back out of your store. There's nothing worse than just sitting on inventory. Okay, next thing we've got is a t-shirt, and I had a feeling that this would sell pretty quickly. This is a really interesting Y2K Thrasher. If anybody remembers Thrasher, does anybody remember this magazine? I loved it as a kid. I always wanted to be a skater girl, and I did have like a really cool H Street board at one time. However, my balance is like a negative 47,000. So I just hurt myself all the time on the skateboard. So I, for sure have no business skating. However, I loved the magazines. I loved all the skater boys. I loved all the pictures. You know, huge fan of all of that. So the second I saw this at a garage sale for $1, I was like, that's a Y2K Thrasher. I also know it's Y2K because it's got the beefy tag. Now this is going to be in eBay under £1. So we're going to ship it straight from eBay. And we're going to get a cool little sticker that says, let's go. Thrifty says, I'll definitely invite you. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I love flush. I'm an Android girl. Oh, no, Lynette. I know, man. I wish that Jamble had, I wish that they already had that. So I put the feels out and just said, hey, let me know as soon as you are going to have that. And I just haven't, nothing yet. Yeah, Coley, beefy tag.
So, fun fact, I had a dream about skateboarding last night.
You had a dream about skateboarding?
Yeah.
I sold that Thrasher t-shirt. Oh, that's crazy.
I think it's sick.
I know, it is a sick t-shirt. If it wasn't worth so much, I would have probably kept it. Yeah, it's a banger for sure. Okay, so we are at 8 ounces and we are at 8 by 8 by 2, which is what I put in for most of my t-shirts. And let's take a look and see what our shipping is going to be. So he paid $5.99. This is going to Miles in Tennessee. Tennessee. So $4.43 is what he paid. So we made $1.50 on shipping, covers my original cost. After all is said and good and all of the eBay fees have been accounted for, we made about $26 in profit on this one. Lena, good to see you. Sharon B is here. Jeannie Houston is here. I'm so happy to see Jeannie Houston. Welcome in. All right, Miles, let's get your little tag printed off here, and we will ship it on its way because we are Christmas elves, and that is what we do. We send things to other people because we're Christmas elves. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, next one up here is, this is something kind of close to my heart. I'm glad it's finding a little home. It didn't make much. So this was one of my Christmas decorations from when we were a kid. Kind of reminds me of my mom, but here's the deal. I kept the stuff that really was treasures and really reminded me of my mom. Like, I have all of her Christmas villages that I'll be setting up. I have a lot of her other little Christmas stuff. This is just one of those kind of random things that would be sitting on the dining room table, and then things would end up getting piled on it. And I just found myself not really setting it up every year. So I think it needs to go to a home where it can be appreciated instead of living in the Christmas box and never actually seeing the light of day. So I didn't make hardly anything on this. It was free. I think we're going to have made like $3.50 or something silly on it. However, like I said, it was more of I wanted to have a home. I'm going to put it up for sale and see if it sells. Because, I mean, I feel like keeping stuff from loved ones when they've passed is super important to be able to create those memories. But I feel like, for me at least, I need to keep the stuff that makes me have that, like, what Marie Kondo would call, like, that spark joy. That thing where it's like, oh, that, you know, do you remember that time when we were kids and this and that? I mean, that's what my mom's Christmases villages are. And when I say my mom had Christmases villages, you guys, I literally have, like, I don't even know, 45, 50 of them to put up. I don't even know where they're going to go in my tiny house, but we're going to figure it out. So that to me is more important. I don't know. Nikki says, I got a return question. Yes, what is up? God, good to see you in here this morning, as always. What is the return? Item returned with size tag cut out. Whoa. So, Nikki, let me clarify. So, you shipped an item with the size tag, and when you got it back, it did not have the size tag? Is that what you're saying? You just have to clarify for me on that one, right? So, do you have pictures of the size tag? Like, when you took pictures of the item to sell it, do you have pictures of the size tag? Is my first question. Number one. I'll wait for that one, because that's going to change my answer. Yep, an original listing. Okay. Did you happen to, by any chance, take a video of yourself opening up the return? Shauna, good to see you. Groovy Grabs is here. Jay, Keith, Fricks, no. Okay, so next time, for sure, take that video, because a lot of times, if you reach out to the person and just say, hey, I want to let you know I got your package back. I'm about to record myself opening it just for buyer and seller protection. I'll get back to you as soon as I do that. A lot of times, if you do that, the person will say back to you like, oh, okay, hey, just to let you know, I cut the size tag out, or hey, okay, never mind. Like, it kind of wards off a little bit. It's not always for an eBay protection thing, but sometimes it's just a little bit of a warding off the inevitable scam-dammler. Just like, let me put this in here really quick here. So that's number one. Let's see, we are paying $4.46 for shipping. They paid $4.49. It's all profit because this was my mom. So we made about $3.50 on it. Okay, so what I would do is I would reach out to eBay for Business on Facebook. That is the easiest way that I have found to get a hold of them. And just let them know. So don't reply to the return. Don't reply to the person. Don't say anything yet. Yes, so I would just talk to eBay first and let them know, hey, I received this item back. What did the person say was wrong with it? Did they say item not as described? Is the first question. If they said that, it's always a little harder to fight stuff. But if it was in your original listing and they cut the tag out, you got about a 50% chance of eBay being cool about it and siding with you. So keep us posted, though. Let us know what they say. But yeah, eBay for Business, that's the easiest way. Yeah, that's so annoying. Like, oh, that's annoying. That, you know what that is? The person got the shirt or whatever it was, cut the tag out because it was annoying them, and then decided they didn't like it or whatever the reason was, or they're trying to do the old switcheroo on you, and that's the other question. Okay, next thing we've got here is a belt buckle. If I can find it here. We got quite a few sales today. All right, next thing we've got here is a belt buckle. I got this from a garage sale a couple weekends ago for $1. I thought it was just going to be one of those like cheapy little $10 belt buckles. It wound up being like a $20 belt buckle, so that was kind of a nice little surprise. Listed as women's small and returned because dude thought men's small was same as women's small. So in that case, the eBay, that's even more ammunition for you to not have to do the return. So when you talk to eBay, just let them know. I always lay it out. Like, I've got two issues with this. Issue number one, the buyer has stated that it is his fault because he thought it was this size, and that's his mistake on the ordering. So number one. Number two issue is not only did he order something incorrectly, but then he cut the tag out of it. And then I would just send pictures. I always do this ahead of time too. I just send them kind of everything at once and kind of bombard them a little bit. Send them pictures. Like you could even do like in a side-by-side collage. Send them individually, but also do a collage like, hey, this is it with the tag. They cut the tag out. My guess is that they will probably side with you. If that buyer admitted that it's his fault that he ordered that, usually you're good. Usually you're good. I would just deduct 50% when doing refund because it didn't come back in the same shape. The problem with that, here's my only thought on that. And it's not that that's not good advice. I think that is good advice, but here's my only issue with that. Now you're out an item that for reselling it. So in other words, a $30 shirt with a tag cut out is that the customer cut out. Now that's not a $30 shirt. That's a $20 shirt because you're never going to get as much for a shirt with a tag cut out as you're going to get with the original size tag. So, I mean, if it was your bad or he didn't admit the situation, I would say maybe, but I don't know. I would, I hate to give advice. I don't want, something to go wrong at the situation. But if it were me, I would be a little hesitant to give 50% back because it's like, not only did he admit that he ordered the wrong item, but then he altered the item. And the whole thing with the return is that the item has to come back to the seller in the same condition as it was shipped out to the buyer. So if you ship that out with a size tag and it came back without one, that's altering the product. That's not even returning the same item. But a lot of it, and I hate to say it, but a lot of it's going to depend on the person that you get for the eBay for business. And if you don't like the first answer, feel free to ask again. So but I'm also an injustice warrior and one of those people that if I feel like myself or someone's getting taken advantage of, I kind of like to go the extra mile. So I think that just kind of depends on you. All right, coffee sticker. Depends on what eBay says. Southern, hey Southern, I sent you a whole bunch of links on IG, by the way. So those shelves I got that I usually get at Costco, they have they're the exact same ones. They're just called a different brand, but they are literally the exact same shelves. And they have them on the Smile Amazon store. So they may take a look in there first because you'll be able to get free shipping on there. I sent you the link for them. Also, if anyone's interested in the shelves I use for my inventory, Justin did put them in our Smile Amazon store under getting things organized or something like that because I didn't realize that they had them on Smile Amazon, which is kind of cool. So take a look over there. They might even go on sale. I mean, I wish if it was Black Friday, they probably were, but we'll see. All right, so we got our belt buckle here. Paid $1 for it. Sold for $18. And let's get this shipped. It's going to be under £1 for sure. So this is 5 ounces. And we've got 7 by 4 by 2. We are paying $4.47 for shipping. They paid $6.99. Covers my original investment. Pretty much covers all the eBay fees for a total profit of probably $16.50 on our belt buckle. Not bad. I just opened it. So yours are whatever that link is, that last link that I sent you, those are the exact shelves I have. And then the tubs that I use, which are these ones here, these clear tubs, these are the same ones that I use for my inventory that I use for bringing in here. You can fit 3 of these on the shelf. They snuggle in together really nicely. And what I like about it is the very end of this will stick out a little bit so that you can pull it to get stuff out easily, and it tilts really nicely. Now, you don't have to do the tubs. I just opted to do the tubs. I mean, you could do cardboard boxes if you could find 3 that, fit in there really nicely or something like that. So this is going to Christian in Indiana. I wanted to do 30-inch boxes, but you think 18 shelves would be too narrow. I could do 24-inch boxes. Yeah, that might work. What I would do, here's what I would do, Southern, is on your floor, mark out what the shelf looks like. Just draw it out with like chalk or whatever, or put down tape, and then try some boxes on there to see what will fit. For me, it was easy because we were at Costco and the buckets were there and the shelves were there at the time. And so I just slid them in and I was like, oh, these work great. But if you're trying to just do boxes because you want to save and not have to buy the tubs, then I would just map it out first and then try putting some boxes down on there, even if you kind of Frankenbox some things, and just see what will fit the best. That's what I would do. Mercari email just now, 10% seller fees, effective 1/6. I knew that was coming. So what really sucks about that is that all of my stuff on Mercari, I always mark down a little bit because I don't have seller fees. So Snap, did you see, or Curated, did you see in there in that email, and I'm sure I'm going to get one too, but if you while you're here, is there anything in there that says like it'll be active on only new listings, or is it active for old listings as well? VP, you're welcome. Salvi Mermaid, what is good? Okay, next thing we've got here is a hat. So this is a little simple 2016 Nike Golf Gray swoosh hat. Definitely not a big, huge money maker, but I think I paid like maybe a quarter for this because I got this in a whole bunch of hats. I got it at a garage sale. It was basically like one of those, hey, if I take all these hats off of your hand, how much will you give me them for? So I do that a lot where it's like, I may end up with a couple things I didn't necessarily want, but at the end of the day, everything sells. And so as long as I'm getting a good deal on stuff, I am a happy camper. So when it comes to hats like this, what I do is I stuff the back side of it with a little bit of paper. And then what I'm doing is that I'm wrapping a little bit of paper over it. What that's going to do is keep this part of the hat nice and from getting crumpled. Now, if this was a really expensive hat, or if this was like a flat bill hat or something where I know that the person, anything that's not basically like a dad core hat, I'm probably going to put it in a box. Because even with a box, they wind up being like super lightweight. You'll never go over a pound unless you're, using some really crazy heavy box. So normally what I do is just put them in a little foam or a little paper. I think the key is keeping the back part of it stuffed so that you don't end up with like a crumpled top. Otherwise, when the person goes to open it up, it's going to look terrible. So then I'm just going to put a little bit of saran wrap around it. Y'all know I love the saran wrap. And I think it's because it gives the person the idea and the feeling of it being new. It also keeps it from shifting, and it's going to keep that paper in there. Missing squeak o'clock. I know. I wonder, hey, babe, did you already feed the dogs? He can't hear me. He's in his office. I don't know. They may run. I mean, it's 12:30. They probably already squeaked. Applying to new and updating listings. Okay. New and updated listings. So if you were to go in and edit and update an old listing, then the fees would be on there. So if you delisted and relisted, because technically that's a new listing, then that probably is for that too? Question mark. Figuring out outdoor lighting now. 2 outside barn doors, but we want 1 or 2 by the front door. Yeah, I mean, if it's not going to be part of your like photography lighting, then I think you could pretty much get just about anything. But if it's part of the photography lighting, you got to make sure that it's at least 5,000 K. Otherwise, you're going to get yellow tinting. S Thread Shop, what is good today? How are we? So we got a little sticker in there, and we're just putting it in a little bag here. So after all is said and done, I mean, we're probably only going to make about $8 on this thing, but $8 is $8. And like I said, it was in a full gigantic pack of hats that I got. So I'm not going to not list it. Because $8 is $8. $8 helps me buy 8 things at a garage sale, which helps me to make more monies, to pay plumbers, and all of the things we have to pay in life. All right, so this is 10, by 6 by 2. All right, so we are paying $4.26 for shipping. They're paying $5.99. All the eBay fees, everything's covered for a total profit of about $8.70. Not bad, $8.70. Hey, Groovy Grabs, thanks for the heart. Appreciate it. Thanks for the gift, you guys. You make me feel happy. Oh, so happy. We haven't even broke, I was gonna say, we didn't even break 100 hearts yet today. I'm doing something wrong. It's Monday. I gotta wake up. This is going to Ivory. What a cool name. This is going to Ivory in Oklahoma, where she's going to get a Nike hat so she can wear it outside and not have the sun be in her eyes while she plays golf. All right, going in and moving right along. Next up, we have something. Next up, we've got a t-shirt. Now, I had messaged the person. Where is this shirt? Where is it? I had messaged the person because I have another one of these. This is that energy drink that I didn't know what it was. The Alani, A-L-A-N-I. Woo, guys, we might end up losing power today here. Somehow my iPad didn't get plugged in, so it is, I got like hardly any battery. So if I jam out of here, that's what's going on. Okay, so I had messaged them on eBay. I'm just going to see if they messaged back. Because I said, hey, I'll give you the other shirt at a discount if you want. Nope. All right, so they're just getting the one. Just the one shirt today, folks. Just the one shirt today, folks. So if you lose me, I have a different camera for IG, FB, and YT. So if you want to hop on there to finish and hang out with me for our shipping video, I will have the other one on. It's just my iPad that you guys are on that, I don't know, somehow didn't get plugged in. So that is what happens when you're busy. You forget to plug things in. And this is going to be under £1, so we are going to ship this straight out of eBay. This is going to be 6 ounces, and we are at 8 by 8 by 2. So we are paying $4.38 for shipping. They paid $5.99. We paid $1 for the shirt. We got 70 cents difference for a total profit of about $9 on this one. So a couple little small purchases, but you know what? Those small little things, they add up. Especially something like this, it's super, super easy to list. So can't go wrong with that. Can't go wrong. $9 is $9. And done. Okay, next up. Thanks for the Groovy Grabs giving all the love today. Thanks, Groovy. Hey, Kick. Nice to see you. Kit Kat's here and give her a break, break her off a piece of that Kit's Cat's closet. All right, we are going to get our next thing done here. So this is like a whole giant pack of these Lord of the Rings dudes. They are going to Bram in Kansas. I paid like nothing for these. I think I paid like $2.50, maybe $3 for all these. They're like these little like, hiya, I am the Lord of the Rings. It's the Eye of Saruman, like Mordor. It's like a bunch of Lord of the Rings guys. So I am going to, excuse me, I am going to put just a little bit of paper around each of them rather than just putting them all in the bag together. Unfortunately, Erwin here, she had lost a shoe, but that's okay. She's still a gorgeous lady. Now, one thing I do when I am shipping out this many items is I always take a picture of all of the items together on my shipping table. I have just unfortunately been burned with the, oh, you didn't include this one in on the package. Now, is that going to save me in an eBay dispute? Probably not. However, it is going to save me in the, someone says, oh, you didn't send me all these. And you're like, oh, really? Oh, I've got a picture of when I was shipping all of them and they're all together. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes just saying those little things to the scaramers helps. So we're just wrapping all of this up here. And I don't even know how this goes. Okay, perfect. And then this one was already busted, but I didn't even have it in the photo, so I'm just going to include it in. and let them know too. That way they're not like, one of the items is broken. It's like, no, one of the items is not broken. I just threw it in there for you because I had an extra one, or I had it, and I didn't charge you for it. It's a Monday, baby. I just sold the most random soccer-themed nutcracker. Nicole, those random ones are almost my favorite. I mean, my most favorite are the ones where like, my daughter has been looking for this toy for 2 years, and like those are always my favorite. But the random strange ones where it's like, why is someone getting that? Those always crack me up. But people like to get fun and silly Christmas gifts for each other too, so I guess that makes sense. All right, so once we've got all of those together, then I'm probably going to stick them in a couple little Ziplocs here. And I know this seems excessive, but you know what? I just don't want to deal with the like, I didn't get one of the items, you know, all of the fun and silly things that people say when you're selling things online. It just reads, if you update your existing listing through bulk pricing, then 10% applies. So my guess is that is true then. So if you were to delist and relist an item, because technically it's going to have a new URL, so technically that's going to be a new item. So just be cognizant of that. When you guys go to delist and relist anything on Mercari after the 6th, I could be wrong, but I think I'm probably right about this. If you delist it and relist it, it's going to be considered a new listing, and that fee is going to be applied. So make sure you update your pricing. Because like I said, for me, all of my Mercari stuff is way less expensive. Like, well, not way less expensive, but I take like 10% off everything in my Mercari store because I don't have to pay any fees. And I don't need to boost or promote or anything. It's going to be interesting to see if that helps Mercari or hurts Mercari because, I don't know. Is Mercari a big selling app for y'all? It really isn't for me. Like, I sell stuff there, but it's only a few things a week. It's definitely nothing where I would consider it like a major selling platform for me or anything. It's frightening looking, says Coley. I've sold some stuff. You know what's funny? It's like I've sold some stuff over the, you know, you see something, it's got, you know, NiceComps. That's the name. You see something that's got good comps, so you pick it up at a sale or you pick it up wherever and you're like, man, this thing is hideous. You're like, I don't know why people are buying this. And then it like immediately sells and you're like, wait, what? That doesn't even make sense. Like, it's so funny how that happens. So, all right, we're going to take a look at the weight of this. I already knew this was going to be over a pound. I still want it to be over 2. So we're just going to stick it straight from that into a poly mailer because I do not want to go over a pound of that. Robert, what is happening? Sola's here. What's up, Sola? Happy to see you. Good to see you today. All right, here's that. Yeah, I missed you guys. It was really weird not coming on Friday. It was so strange. Like, it's very weird. But, I mean, you wouldn't have been able to hear me. My whole house sounded like... It was like a really, really bad dubstep song. That's what it sounded like. For so many hours. They worked until... Because I think they were trying to finish it up before the weekend. They worked until, like... I think the first night they worked till... 8:30 or 9, and then the next night they were done by like 7:30 or 8. And when you have to be in your house and listen to that all day, oh my god, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. All right, we are at, oh man, that's so close to 2 pounds. I'm gonna put it just as 2 pounds and see what I get. That's just so close to 2 pounds. I'm afraid that I'm gonna get the like, you went over and get a fee has incurred. All right, let's paste the address here. Okay. So this is going to Brom in Kansas. And let's see. Excuse me. What have we got for our length? We got 11 by 10. 11 by 10, and we're just going to put 2 pounds and see what we get for shipping. make sure we didn't eat it on this because I probably didn't charge enough for shipping. $6.56. Oh, it's probably okay. So $6.56 is what I charged for shipping, and he paid $6.80. Boom! Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. All right, buy that label up. I got the Nutcracker from a garage sale listing pick back in August when I started reselling. Awesome. Dude, I love doing that. I do that all the time. So like, if someone's got like a garage sale thing up ahead of time, I'll like go through the photos and they'll screenshot what's in the photos, like estate sales or whatever, and then pop those into Google Lens. And then you can like get a comp. And so, like that's a lot of times how I'll rate what garage sales I'll go to too, is like, okay, these are the ones I definitely want to get these bangers. Like I need to head out early to these ones. And then other ones, I always put LL next to my listings, which means lower level, meaning that it's just like lower level items. Like it's not what I'm looking for as much, but maybe there's something there. And then the ones I really want to go to get like a big, huge star. So, all right, copy and clipboard, printing this out for Brom. And we're going to get this shipped on its way. Now you got the Nutcracker song stuck in my head. All right, here's that. I know we wanted to get our Christmas tree put together on Friday. But we have like a family tradition, so we always watch Christmas movies while we're doing our Christmas tree. And because it was so loud in the house, we couldn't do that. So I was like, all right, we just had to work all weekend. So I was like, okay, this week coming up, we have to get our Christmas tree done. We got the lights on it. We got Darth Vader on the top and lights on it. That's as far as we've gotten. Guys, I live a crazy hot mess life. All right, here we go. Putting that in there. And am I the only person without their Christmas tree done? Somebody say, oh no, Charity, you're not. So I cannot feel so bad. Okay, next thing we sold here was something I had a really, really hard time figuring out what this item was. So I'll show you it. It's got this little yellow bee on it, right? It's got this little yellow bee guy. But the yellow bee is, because this is they wound up being the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, but that little bee is like the logo for so many different sports teams, but all of them were just slightly different. So I probably spent like 15 minutes trying to figure out exactly what bee this was, because Riz had said which one she thought it was when we were doing the garage sale haul, but when I looked it up, it was just a little different. So I wound up going through pages and pages on Google Images until I found this one, and I was like, oh my gosh! So it's the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Such a crazy, crazy hard thing to find. You wouldn't think it would be because it's, a sports thing, but there was just so many yellow jackets. Groovy says we did our yesterday. Okay, so I don't feel quite as bad. Nope, just bought my tree in yesterday. Hella, thank you. Now I don't feel like I'm slacking so much. I literally was just like, I cannot believe we don't have our tree up. Because usually we do it like right after Thanksgiving. We'll do like, we watch all of our Thanksgiving movies, and then either the next day or the day after, we'll do the tree and everything. But it just didn't happen this year, and I've just been so busy trying to work and stuff like that. And then we have been dealing with the plumbing thing all last week. So anyways, needless to say, I have a fixed plumbing system, so that's fun. Okay, so this is 8 ounces and 8 by 8 by 3. We are paying $4.82 for shipping. They paid $5.99 for a difference of $1.10. Covers the original cost of $1. After all the eBay fees and everything, we made about $10.80 on this. I wish I would have made $20 on it for spending 15 minutes trying to figure out what this stinking bee was. Normally with sports stuff, it's so easy. You look up this, you Google Lens it, you figure out what it is in 2 seconds. But if y'all want to see how many sports teams use the yellow jacket, go and look. It's crazy. Everything from the such and such chess team to basketball to high school teams and unfortunately, I think it was an Antigua team or Antigua brand, which Antigua makes professional stuff, but then they also make stuff for wherever. What is that? Oh, just the garbage truck. I'm all paranoid with sounds. I'm like, oh no, plumbers are back. Please, God, no. No more. Okay, next thing we sold is our cute little Jack and Sally slippers. I wish these would have been in my size. Unfortunately, they're a women's 10, so they're just too big. Really super cool, holographic, little sweet slippers. Like I said, I really, really wish these would have been in my size. Unfortunately, they're just too big. I've tried them on and it like didn't even cover like the front of my foot. So I was like, oh, okay, well, that's not gonna work. All right, and they are getting a cool little camera here and go on. Avi, good to see you. Coco, Loco, Baloco. Danny is here. G is here. How are you guys doing today? What is good? Vicky, you're on YouTube. I see you. Thank you for watching this on YouTube. Guys, if you're just joining, if this cuts out, I have 3% battery. So if this cuts out, just go find me over on YouTube because I have a different camera for that. I can't believe I forgot to charge my iPad. That's life. Life happens, right? Okay, so we're getting this here, and then we're going to just put a little thing of paper, I think, around the rest of these. So I picked these up. I actually think I paid $2 for these, which is I probably paid too much for these because I think they only sold for like $9. I thought they were going to sell for way more. I did not realize that there was so many of them, A, for sale, and B, they weren't that expensive new. I think brand new, they were like $21 or something. So after shipping, I mean, this person paid $17.63 for these. So they really only saved themselves a couple dollars off the actual brand new price. So that being said, needless to say, I would probably not have picked these up again. However, I did get them. It's kind of another one of those situations where I got them in like a giant lot of shoes from a garage sale. And the only way the lady was willing to give me a deal, in fact, she was like a super stickler. The only way that she was willing to give me a deal was for me to get a whole bunch of like, I was like, well, I get all of these. And she really only gave me like $4 off anyways. And it was like, I was already convinced I was getting all the shoes. And I got a lot of great shoes. I got like Coney, I got Nike, I got Brooks, I got a whole bunch of different ones. So it was worth it. But I mean, I still made my 3 times the amount that I have to make in order for me to be happy. But that being said, I still probably would have picked them up again. Okay, so these are 10 ounces, and we are at 11, I think 10, 9, 2. All right, so we're paying $6.33. Oh, no, we're not, because that's incorrect. That is not a pound. That is 0, and that is 10 ounces. So 10, okay, perfect. So we are paying $4.94. They paid $6.99. So it covers my original investment, actually. So I did make about $9 on these. Not a great huge buy, but I feel like right now, I don't know if y'all are feeling this. I feel like I'm selling a lot of what I would consider like stocking stuffer items, like kind of inexpensive stocking stuffers. That's what I feel like is going on. That is totally what, because that's like the 4th thing in a row that's kind of in that price range. So I think that's what's going on. Hi. Missed the plumbing story, so glad they got it fixed. Groovy. Dude. 48 hours of like they had to go all the way under my house. Like my garage is way over there. They were all the way almost underneath my listing room, which is on the other side of the house. There was a full like gopher tunnel through. It was so crazy. It wound up being $5,900. Like, bleh. Get it home. They said it'll save you money. Yep. I'm saving money all over the place. Yeah, it was a nightmare. So that's why I wasn't live on Friday. It was so loud. It was just so loud in here. It was so crazy. I felt like I couldn't do anything either. You know, when, I don't know if anybody has this. I know I have this because I have sensory stuff. But when there's repetitive noises, or it's the, like loud noises, and especially loud repetitive noises, my body almost goes into this like freeze mode where I feel like I can't do anything. So I had headphones on, like I was trying to like work and do stuff, but I feel like I got house stuff done, but I don't feel like I was like super productive this weekend. Do you guys know does anybody understand what I mean by like, you got stuff done, but like everything took way too long to do, and it didn't feel like anything happened in any sort of like organized way. Tell me I'm not the only, if that makes sense to anybody, let me know, because that's literally what it felt like today. Vicky, yep, you got to transition off the TT. With that bill that passed, I really think they're going to go get rid of the app. It may happen. I'm not saying it is, and I'm not saying it isn't, because I have no idea. But it is interesting for sure. It is interesting. So make sure you guys find me on the YouTubies, because I'll always be on there. Okay, next thing we've got is some totes boots. It's so funny. I have sold these 3 times. So I sold them, the first time I sold them, it was when eBay, when someone would buy something, it would immediately delist it. So if you tried to, you couldn't like sell it again. You had to like relist it if they didn't pay. So that was time number 1. The second time I sold them, the person messaged me and was like, oh my gosh, these are the wrong size. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to order them. Can you relist them? So I had to relist these things 3 times. I got these for like $2, I think, at a yard sale. And they sold for $18.60 over on eBay. Not a huge, crazy shoe deal, and certainly not worth listing them 3 times. Like, holy smokes. I would have had to leave. Lynette, it's so funny because we talked about it, and we were going to go, like, out for the day and do stuff. But it was like I was trying to work, right? And so, and Justin had to work all weekend. So it was like whatever we needed to get done had to get done on Thursday and Friday, because he was going to be on calls and do stuff all weekend long. And so we didn't go anywhere, and we kept thinking it was going to be done, because originally they told us it was like a 3-hour fix. The guys come in, they do all the digging, which wasn't that loud. I mean, that was just like scraping underneath the house. And then the plumber was supposed to come in and fix it like pretty much immediately. Because we knew right where the break was. We knew exactly how everything was. Like, we knew going into this exactly what the situation was. Little did we know, though, that the pipe was angled kind of, it wasn't angled incorrectly. It was probably correct when it was originally installed. But in Texas, all your foundations are floating because the ground gets hard and soft and hard and soft. And so you can't have like stationary things. And we have suspension rods and stuff under our house to keep it from ever sinking. And so it was like, okay, oh, maybe, by 2:00 we should be done. And then it was like, okay, by 6:00 we should be done. And then it was like 8:00 at night and not done. And Justin went out and he's like, how far is it? And the guy was like way underneath the house. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to come back tomorrow. I have to reset the external pipe or something like that. So it just kept being like that, which I no complaints. I'm happy that it's finished. I'm happy that it's fixed. I'm cool. It was just one of those like, it's going to be done. And then it wasn't done. And it's going to be done. And it's not going to be done. And it's going to be done. And it was just like this like 2-day thing. So when the guy finally said, okay, it's done at like 7:30 or 8:00 at night or whatever it was, I was like, are you sure? Like, you don't have to come back tomorrow. And he's like, oh, no, you're good. You can use the restroom and you're fine and everything. And it was just like, oh my gosh, because we had to drive down to the gas station to use the bathroom for like a day and a half. So anyways, not to snooze anybody on our story there, but that is the situation that we dealt with for days. 4 days. Just a few days of just insanity. Paige, I'm happy to see you. I will stop boring everyone with our plumbing talk here. Back to reselling. Tell you what, though, last thing I'll say is I sincerely hope, knock on wood, I'm sending all my good vibes to all my people that have passed that are watching out for us. Please, dear Lord, sweet baby Jesus in your tiny tuxedo, could we please not have any more plumbing issues? Like, I'm good. I don't want to deal with it again. So I'm just wrapping these up in a little bit of foam. These have like a faux style leather on the outside, which is why I'm being really cognizant not to let them touch. The one thing that will destroy your faux leather when you're shipping it, more than anything, is it touching its own self. So that this kind of like leather that's not actually leather, they just rub off on each other really, really easily. So I always make sure on these that I wrap it you know, and make sure that nothing is touching each other, if that makes any sense. So we're just wrapping all these up, and then we will use a little bit of saran wrap, get it all snuggled in there, and good to go. Olivia Neely, thanks for joining us in today. Welcome, you guys. Feel free to share this out too if you guys want to. I appreciate it. And thank you for the hearts too. That helps with TT. It helps to get stuff pushed out. Oh, that makes me happy. It says, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. So please don't take that sunshine away." All right, wrapping these up. So once again, in case you're just joining us, the reason I use saran wrap on the outside of my shoes is just to keep them from shifting inside. I have shipped out a very, very large amount of shoes in my career of reselling. And to this day, I have never had shoes get injured in shipping. And I have shipped out hundreds and hundreds of pairs. So, well, YouTube, you got my full undivided attention because TT is gone. Vicky, you got my undivided attention today. I knew that iPad is going to die. Yep, unfortunately. All right, let's get our chat back. So, all right, well, if you're on YouTube today, you get to hang out with me and I get to watch and talk to you. Okay, so we're just getting these in. So like I was saying, whenever you're doing shoes, the number one thing that destroys them is them rustling around with each other. So just make sure that they do not rustle. Let's see here. We're going to turn that off. Perfect. Vicky, if you're still here, can you still hear me? Is my volume okay? I just want to make sure that that didn't mess with my my volume. Hi, Heather. I knew that I told everybody, I was like, yo, my iPad has like no charge today. So, all right. So we are going to get this shipped out over in Pirate Ship because it's over £1. This is going to Donna in New York. Donna says, "It is cold in New York. Please send me some boots. I need boots immediately." Let's get this copied and pasted. And I'm actually going to bring this outside here so I can see y'all when you chat. Logan can still hear you. Okay, good. Thanks, you guys. Coley's joining in. Yeah, I mean, if they get rid of the TT, you guys are going to have to get used to me being over here. So, all right. So we're going to get this printed out over in Pirate Ship. So Donna in New York. And let's take a look at our length here. We are at 12 by 11, 11 by 3. And we are at, let's see what our weight is on these. 2 pounds exactly. And 0 ounces. So let's take a look here. So we are going to pay, drum roll please. We are going to pay $8.80 to ship these. Let's buy this label and then we'll take a look and see what she paid. So I think I want to say I paid $2 for these. I've had these a long time. Like I said, they've sold twice before. Once the person didn't pay, and the second time, I had to relist them because the person accidentally bought the wrong size. Or at least that's what they said. Who knows, right? So this is going UPS SurePost, and they are going to go on their way. All right, and while I do this, I'm going to set you guys up just a little bit differently here so I can see everybody. Because normally I have a TT as the primary one, but not today because my iPad's dead. So there you go. All right, and save and continue, and back over here. All right, I am here, Coley. Okay, so I'm going to pull this out. Give me a second, guys, because I got to figure out how to do this. This is me trying to do something without Justin, so we are going to see. Kind of Coastal's here. Hey, good to see you. All right, so we're going to put this here, and then we're going to make this screen a little bit smaller. And that way I can see you guys. There we go. Perfect. I did it. I'm so proud of myself. I just did an electronics thing. Whoa, she's cooked. That never happens. It worked out, too. Okay, next thing we've got is something really cool. So this is a He-Man Masters of the Universe. This is a paper jointed people. I don't know if you guys remember these, like from when you're a kid, like the joint things, like the skeletons and stuff. So this was a really cool new in package item. I got a message from the person that bought this too, and they said, I am getting this shipped to me internationally, and I would really appreciate if you made sure that it was nice and flat. So I think what I am going to do is, and I don't normally do this. Y'all know I only do this once in a great, great while. But I think I might use a couple of these boxes I have. So I've got these old post office boxes. So when we first moved here, I think I've told this story before, but when we first moved here, I got tons and tons of priority mailing boxes because when I was in Washington State, it was way less expensive for me to ship things using priority mail for just about everything. I shipped pants, I shipped jackets, shirts, everything. Well, maybe not t-shirts, but like anything that was over £1 was always less expensive for me to ship through priority mail. So when I moved down here, I just figured that was going to be the same situation. I figured it was going to be same thing. Like you, that dude has an unfortunate haircut. No doubt. That is a good call. So yeah, so I ordered myself literally this crazy amount of these boxes. Well, when I say I have hundreds of these, guys, I literally have like probably 300 of these boxes because I just figured, like I said, that this was going to be the same situation as when I was in Washington. When I got down here, I realized that is 100% not true. So it is way, way more expensive for me to use priority shipping here in comparison to Ground Advantage or UPS SurePost. So I looked online to see if I could figure out like a drop-off place for some of these boxes. And I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find anything online. So I went to the post office and I asked the lady at the front, like, hey, I've got these all these boxes and I don't know what to do with them. Do you have a place for me to drop these off? And she was like, no, unfortunately, we can't accept them back. And I was like, what do you mean you can't accept them back? She's like, yeah, we can't accept them back. And I'm like, well, can't you take them and then someone else can use them? And she's like, yeah, we don't take them back here. And I said, okay, well, what am I supposed to do with these boxes? And she's like, well, you could give them to somebody else that needs them, or you could just use them in the future. And I was like, ma'am, I have like 200 of these boxes. Like, I'm never going to ship this much stuff through Poshmark, and it's all these weird shaped boxes because, like I said, it was less expensive to send shoes. It was less expensive for everything for a priority mail. And at the time, I don't know if y'all remember this, but about a year and a half ago, they changed the priority shipping. I guess it was about a year ago. They changed the priority shipping rate. It used to be like $7.90. It was $760 and $7.90 for the priority legal flat rate and the regular flat rate. It was $8.30 for bubble. And then it was like $9.10. I think I still have the old number somewhere. So at the time, it was less expensive for me to use all priority mail boxes. Well, the post office decided they hated that, apparently. So that all changed. So not only is it more expensive to send things priority mail, but it's like way more expensive to send it priority mail. So the only place I ever use priority mail for is I don't do WN shows yet. I'm not doing those. I'm doing Jambles. And I use them for Poshmark. Well, I don't sell that much Poshmark stuff. Like, I sell some Poshmark stuff, but I don't sell, like, 200 gigantic boxes. It's probably more than that. It's probably, if they come in a pack of 25, I have 2 giant shelves plus a whole side thing. It's probably closer to 400 boxes. So, yeah. So I am stuck with all these boxes, and it's like, I know that I'm not supposed to use these for other stuff, but it's like, I don't know what to do with them. So every once in a great while, I will, you know, just use a box, and it is what it, I guess it's like, it sounds bad, but it is what it is. Like, I don't know what else to do with them. So they won't accept them. The only other thing I can do is take them to recycling, I guess, but that seems like a waste when I could just use them. So I don't know. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but that's where I'm at with it. Is I'm at the I don't know what else to do with them stage. So, all right. So we are just making sure that this is going to stay sturdy. They message me and they're like, please make sure it stays straight. So that is about as like straight as I can make that. We shall see. Yeah, I can't believe they don't take them back either, Logan. I guess because I was talking to somebody else that had a whole bunch of these boxes, and they said that their post office let them bring them and just leave them by the back door. But this lady was like very clear that they did not accept them here. So, and I don't know where else to drive them. I mean, the next post office for me is like a really tiny little town in between me and Austin. And so, I mean, they're not going to take them there. And even then, what am I going to do? Load 400 boxes into my car and like take them up there and hope they take them back? So, I mean, yeah. So I don't know. That's where I'm at. I'm at a conundrum with the situation. Okay. So let's get the shipping label on this. And then I also got these little stickers now. I never know how much this stuff actually helps, but I figure it helps me in case something were to happen to this. So I have these little stickers. I got these off of, Amazon store, which my link is in the bio here. And I just put them on. It says, do not bend, handle with care. Whether they pay attention to that, I mean, I don't know. What are you going to do, right? I mean, that's the best I can do is hope that they're going to take good care of it. If not, then I guess we have to deal with filing a claim. All right, so let's get this measured and weighed. So this is 21 by 16. And then let's take a look at the weight of this, because I think this has to be over a pound, right? Yeah. All right, so we're going to go over to Pirate Ship. So this is going to Fabio somewhere, because all of the eBay International stuff, all I can see is the original address, which is Glendale Heights, Illinois. But Fabia Corna, that sounds like probably like Italian, I would think. I could be wrong. What size poly are you using? Patrick, for these ones, every once in a while when I get like a really big item like this, there is a 24 by 24 inch poly bag that you can get. And I think that they're the ones that I like that don't tear. The link, I think, is here on YouTube somewhere up in the bio. If you click on it, go over to Reseller Supplies to get you started. This is the brand I like. So I've tried a couple different brands. Well, I've probably tried almost all the brands on Amazon at this point. And so the ones I like are in there. Because a lot of the poly bags, if you even like lightly scratch them, you'll get like scratch marks on it. So nobody wants that. All right, so we're going to go over to Pirate Ship with this and get this shipped and see what we've got here. All right, paste and box or rigid packaging, which this definitely is. And I already forgot. We said 21 by 16 by 1. So 21 by 16 by 1. The nice thing with this too is it's under 23 inches. So 23 inches is kind of like your metric. So when you're figuring out if you're doing flat rate shipping, just know that the second that you, just a second, this is being funky. The second that you, do anything over 23 inches long, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. So when you're you're figuring out your shipping rates, just take that in consideration. I would go into Pirate Ship and look at your rate calculator in there and see what you get. At least you tried, might as well use them. I know that's kind of, Patrick, that's kind of how I feel too, is like, I did try. I mean, I literally tried to, and I don't use them very often. It's just kind of on situations like this. So ADW, this is being funky. Just a second, I'm trying to figure out what they want me to do here. So let's go backwards with this. And then I think we'll put that ADW thing. They've got like a weird EVTN copy. So that's good to know. Okay, so when you're doing things international, and you're going over to Pirate Ship, make sure you're double checking, because I've had this happen before. Make sure you're double checking in where the zip code is. It tries to put this code, which is probably like eBay's code for like where they are going to send it out for after that. So you got to go into the zip code, get rid of it. But I always put it under like the apartment unit. And I have had this happen before. Perfect. There we go. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Okay. And we are at, what are we at for this? 1-5, it looks like. Let's try it again. 1-1-5. Stuff like this too. It's good to spin it around a little bit. Okay, so 1 pound and 5 ounces. So we are at 21.16 by 1 pound, 5 ounces. Let's see what we are going to pay. So we are paying $7.78 for shipping. And then let's take a look and see what our friend Fabio is going to pay. We're going to print the label here. And let's take a look-see. So it looks like he paid $11.90 for shipping. So we made money on this. And guys, this thing cost me like about $1 because I got it in a huge pack of like He-Man, Thundercats, like this whole giant toy lot. So this was probably like $1, maybe less than $1. So that's great. We made 37 bucks on that one. So that's exciting. He had to pay $65 because of the shipping. So he really wants that. Super rare item though. I mean, it's not something you're going to find again. So, okay, let's get this put here and add tracking. And also another little piece of advice. If you guys notice that you are shipping anything out to Canada right now, make sure that you're messaging the buyer and just saying, hey, I just wanted to remind you of the strike that's going on right now with Canadian shipping. Your package could be delayed, not due to fault of seller, but due to postal service. Because I've seen a couple people with posts online saying that they got a wonky or bad review, and the reviews were literally like, taking forever, my item's still not here, because they're not understanding. That has nothing to do with the seller. That's the post office. It's like, this isn't their business, so it's not something they think of, right? Okay, and then next thing we've got is some little action figure guys here. And let's take a look. We may have to play, let's make a box. So these are little Thundercats guys. Kind of got them in that set. So we could put them in there, and then... Hey, Justin? I need a box for these Thundercats. I don't think I've got one in here that'll work. All right, we'll come back to those in just a minute. Let's pop over to, so these are going to be like this, basically. And then another one, or high enough for 4. You want 2 or just 1? Okay, and then there's going to be 4 total. Okay, cool. Thanks, Ben. Okay, let's close that. Okay, we are over in Depop, so as soon as he brings that back, we'll go ahead and get those shipped out. Okay, our first thing over in Depop is going to be, let's take a look. It is going to be a shirt. Let me move this over a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Thanks you guys for coming on. They did sell fast. I know I think I still have like 2 to list too. So crazy. Like, I didn't realize how many pictures of toys we took that day. I literally took pictures of like 60 toys. I didn't even realize it was that many. It was so crazy. Like, we were just going. We were going for it. Okay, so we've got our first item is a cool shirt. So this is a David Carey. It's a little hot rod shirt. And what's cool about this one is I got a neat message. One thing I love about Depop is people love to like talk over there, because I always say, you know, Depop is a social media platform that you just happen to sell items on. And one thing I really like about Depop is just the people are just really cool over there. So for the most part, I mean, I've had a couple interesting people. They're always out there. But this person was like, hey, you know, thanks so much. I'm so excited for this. Can you get this shipped right away? I'm getting this for a friend for Christmas, and he's going to be so excited. So I'm excited. I always love those messages. It literally does make me feel like I'm a little bit of a Christmas elf. I don't know if y'all like that, but I like toys for that reason. They are quick. Yeah, Logan, they are. Like, I know if I could find more here, I would do more. Yeah, that should work. Perfect. Thanks, Ben. If I could find more, I would do more. I just don't seem to find as many here. And I have a sneaking suspicion why. So when I was in Washington, I found a lot of toys up there. A lot of the families that lived in the area I lived in had lived there for, 10, 15, 20 years or longer. And so a lot of people there had like their kids' toys, and their kids are like grown and have kids of their own and they don't want them. And so I found so many toys in Washington. In fact, I would say between like when I first started, I was doing a lot of my mom stuff, but I kind of transitioned and I did a lot of toys. Like probably 70% of the stuff I was doing was toys. Here, I think because I'm in an area that's just a really fast growing community. So I think it's like the third fastest growing community in the United States right now. So you have a lot of people moving in here, and a lot of people that are moving here are people that have gotten rid of that stuff before they moved. Like they probably had yard sales or gave it away or whatever. So I just don't find as much here in the toy department, which is kind of a bummer because I really like doing toys. Now, that being said, I find a lot of Western wear and stuff that's like really nice and sells well too. But I definitely don't find as many toys here, which, I like toys. So I hate that I can't find as many because I like getting them and playing with them and figuring out what they are. And I'm just a big kid. So, all right. So we got 10 ounces on this. And let's take a look and see what we are going to pay for shipping. So I do all of my Depop shipping outside of Depop because I like to make a little extra money. I know not everyone has the ability to do that, and I don't know why that is. So this is going to be $5.26 on Pirate Ship. And let's get this printed out. So this is going to Dylan in California. However, Dylan will be gifting it to some friend. Some friend of his is going to get it, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Picked it up for a buck at a garage sale. Can't go wrong. All right, slap that on there and call me Susan. Perfect. Let's head on back over to Depop, and we will mark this as shipped. Thanks again, you guys, for joining me over on doing this on YouTube. I appreciate you popping over. I'm going to have to get my iPad charged today so that I can work. I'm scared to unplug the thing that it's plugged into right now because I think it's the microphone, and I don't know if it goes to this or not, but I don't know. All right, next up, we've got a pair of Uggs. So just got these listed. These sold for $48 over on Depop probably $40. I think that's before shipping. Let's take a look here. All right, so these are going to, who are these going to? So I picked these up. I bought a whole bunch of boots in like a bulk thing. She originally, I think, wanted 15 for these. I got them, I believe, for 10 because I got a whole ton of boots. I kind of more than I would normally want to spend, but I knew that everything I was getting would sell super fast, so I wasn't worried about it. So these are going to Chelsea in Arizona. And then for these, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make the insides look nice. So let's make sure our paper looks good and all of that so that they can feel like they're getting a new pair. And then normally what I'll do is just stuff a little extra paper in here because we just don't want these like shifting around. I don't want to add too much to the weight, but I also don't want to, like I said, the number one reason that boots get and shoes get destroyed is because they bounce off of each other. Logan says, that makes sense. I don't find a ton in my area either, but I get so excited when I do. Are you in the same situation, Logan, where it's like you're in an area where it's like more newer homes? Because that's the issue I have. If I can get down into, that being said, if I can get down into like San Marcos, I find that, because that community's been there just a little bit longer, I have found stuff down there more than I found them up where I'm at, because I'm up closer to I'm like in between Austin and San Marcos, and so I'm like in this growing giant area, and like I said, the people here are just, most of the people I've lived here, like, I think I've met like 4 people with Southern accents even, because I think it's mainly like transient people that have moved here like I did. So got a cute little sticker here, and then we're just going to put a little bit of saran wrap over these. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to put some foam on the outside of this box first here, just so we protect the box a little bit. And then we will, and I'm not going to put these in an additional box. That would just be overkill. I mean, if these were like $200 shoes or something, I would probably put an additional box over them. But they're just, but I mean, yeah, these boots are Uggs. They're not crazy expensive Uggs either. They're just a little pair of classics. So, oh, we just got a notification on eBay. Let's take a look. Respond to offer. Oh, man, I've been trying to get rid of this shirt. What is the SKU on this one? Oh, we will definitely accept this, but I got to see what the SKU is on this. Oh, my God. I don't even know if I have one on here. I hope I still have this. Let's see. Where is the... Let me look. Just a second, guys. I got to look this up. This is going to be funny. What is the SKU on this? 20. SKU number 20, kids. Whoa. I will absolutely accept this offer and literally sell it for anything you want. SKU number 20. I'm on $13.55. That is how long I have had that. Oh, please take it. Please take it. That's so crazy. That's like the lowest number I've sold in a while. Like, I still have shirts from when I first started. Like, and this is one of those things where I bought it early on thinking it was going to be worth a ton, but it's not. Logan says, yeah, I'm in Nebraska, but it's like half new houses family and half 65-year-old houses. Okay. Yeah, so then you only basically have half of the community to really source those kind of vintage toys from. And like, I don't get a lot of the newer toys. Like, I will if I find like Monster High dolls, or I find Rainbow Girl dolls. Like, I've sold a lot of those and made some good money over the time on those. But otherwise, a lot of the newer stuff, like, it's kind of like fast fashion, where there's just so many toys that got produced that they're just not worth anything because there's just too many of them. It's like the market got like completely saturated. I don't know what I do with my scissors. Oh, there they are. It's always an adventure of like seeing how many times I can lose my things while sitting in this room. Nebraska. Logan, you gotta be cold. Woo! You all gotta be cold. It is, I wonder what the temperature is today. Hey Siri, what's the temperature outside today? 78 in Texas today, baby. It's literally 78 degrees here. I'm in shorts. I got my fan on. Oh, it was so miserable here this weekend, though. It's like, it's funny because every once in a while I'll be like, oh my gosh, it's too hot here. And then I remember what it was like living in Washington because this weekend it was super rainy and cold and nasty here. And so I was like, oh, I forgot how much I hate this weather. Oh, my iPad came back to life. Too late for TikTok. Logan says I'm jealous. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like, I just can't do the cold. I just can't do it anymore. I did it for years and it's just too much. It's just too much. I can't do it. All right. So we are going to get this measured. This is a 14 by 12 by 5, 14, 12, 5, 14, 12, 5. And what is our weight on this one here? Let's take a look here. It's got to be a couple pounds. 214, baby. Kept it under 3. And that right there, kids, is why we do not put things in another box, because it gets like way too heavy. Logan says it's not terrible today. It's 50 out, but windy, always windy. Is it windy in Nebraska? Gosh, you know what? I don't know. I don't know that I have ever been to Nebraska. Hey, honey, I sold something. Can you grab it for me too? Okay, so we're paying $9.58 for this. And let's take a look here.
What do you mean?
I just sold something. Wait till you see what the SKU is. 20. SKU 20. We're hanging out just on YouTube today, by the way, because my iPad died. Somehow it didn't get plugged in last night. So when it didn't get plugged in last night. That charger doesn't charge things. You have to put it on the fast charger or it doesn't charge. And it started at 8%. So
on the fast charger?
No. I mean, not if it goes through that. I think it dims the charge. So, yeah, I know, bummer. But that's okay. Always stretching, always growing, always learning. All right, so let's take a look here. We paid, she paid $9.58.
Well, if you want,
or we paid $9.58. It's fine. I'd have to restart the stream and everything. I just told everyone, hop over on YouTube or you snooze. I mean, it is what it is. So,
sure.
Okay, so we're copying this and SKU 20. Yeah. And then let's go over to Depop and let's take a look and see. Logan says every winter I'm like, why do I live here? That's what happened to me in Washington. It was the same thing where it was like every year I would be like, it would be so nice between like July 8th and like September 3rd. It would be so beautiful and it's just so gorgeous and everything's so green and lush and wonderful. And then you get to the other months of the year and it's like, why am I living here? Why am I not moving? And we were going to buy a house in Washington, but we couldn't find one that was reasonably priced. And so we started looking elsewhere and it's like, wow, we can get twice the house in Texas, never be cold anymore. Groceries are more affordable. Gas is more affordable. I mean, you guys, when I left Washington, hamburger at Safeway was $14.99 a pound. Gas was $5.69 a gallon. I'm like, why? I am spending all this money to live in a place where it's cold and wet and rainy all the time. Like, no thanks. No, thank you. Okay, so after all is said and done, we made about $30 on those, about $30 on our Uggs, so not bad. Okay, next up we've got a shirt. This is funny too because I saw this shirt at, let's take a look, is this it? I saw this shirt at a garage sale, and so, okay, I'm a huge gamer. I love gaming, so I'm a big like Call of Duty girl, and I watch a lot of people stream gaming, and so I saw this, and I knew exactly what it was. I was like, oh, that's a Champion shirt with the FaZe logo. And FaZe is like a clan that plays on, I think like, you know, League of Legends and Call of Duty or whatever. So anyways, yeah, so I saw that and I was like, I bet you dollars to donuts that this lady that's selling it has no idea what this shirt is. So it's like perfect for that too, a little sticker. So I was like, hey, how much do you want for your t-shirt? You know, never call it my name. And she's like, $1. And I was like, that's a banger. So, with shipping, $49. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. I was like, yes, please. And thank you. I was like, I know exactly what that is. And it's like a super hard and rare one to find. So that was pretty. It's always cool when something you know about, like, helps you to, Logan, you probably feel that way with toys. Like, you find something where it's like, you know about it. So it's like, or Coley with baking or something, maybe with bakeware or something where you guys like, oh, I know what this is. Because I know what it is, it's like that, it helps you to be able to sell it. Other weird thing on Pirate Ship. This always happens for some reason. So this is going to Brooklyn. For some reason, it never puts in Brooklyn for the city ever. Whenever I like copy and paste it in, it never does it. So I always look, I've learned these things just through time of having things go wrong. Packages have to get redirected and stuff. So yeah, so if you are using Pirate Ship and you're ever shipping anything to New York, double check that. Save yourself the trouble of trying to help someone track a package and figure out what's going on. All right, so this is 0 tab 8. So we are looking at shipping. It shouldn't be very much. I mean, New York's always a little bit more than other places, but $4.55 to ship that. He paid $5.99. After our original investment, I mean, gosh, guys, we must have made $39 on this shirt. So not too shabby. And this is going to Benjamin in Brooklyn. All right, let's get that printed out and get Benjamin his fantastic shirt. Simple, understated, and classy. I know, it was so expensive. Coley, anyone else just spent 20 minutes checking their entire inventory for something they already packaged yesterday? Last week. So on Thanksgiving, Coley, I sold that black watch, plaid, dead stock jacket and vest. And the guy was like, hey, I'm trying to wear this next week for an event, probably for like a Christmas party or something. He's like, can you get it shipped out right away? So I got it shipped out like immediately after Thanksgiving. I think I shipped it out on Friday, but I wasn't doing all the rest of my shipping until Monday. So on Monday, Justin's like running around and he's like, I can't find this thing anywhere. I was like, just keep looking. I was like, the SKU should be in there. And then he's like, finally he was like, he's like, it's like a vest and a jacket. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I already shipped that. And he was like, no. He's like, I just spent like an hour looking for it. He was like, sorry about that. That is my bad. Sorry about that. So yes, it definitely happened. I just did it. All right. So we're going back over to Depop, putting in our thing here, and we will get our next item here. Copy, pasty. Let's see here. This is going UPS and paste and mark item as shipped and a little sip of coffee. Logan says, I'm kind of a gamer, but never would have guessed a face shirt was worth so much. Yeah, always. Clan, like any of the clan stuff is worth stuff. Now, that being said, there's a few pieces, like I think Optic and I think it's just Optic became kind of like a thing at one point. I mean, they're still really huge, but when they first started kind of becoming, when EA Sports finally first started like becoming something, Optic was like the go-to because of course you have like major players that have played for that. And so some of the stuff was like super cheap. Like I think there was even a few things like in Target or whatever. So there's a few things that aren't worth much, but the majority of gaming stuff is worth quite a bit because either Blizzard has put it out or BioWare has put it out. EA directly has put it out. A lot of it is just stuff that you get like at conventions and stuff like that, or you have to like order it online. You can't just get it through like Smile Amazon or something like that. So a lot of that stuff can be worth good money. Not everything. So, you know, if it's more than $1, I would probably, you know, do a quick comp on it. But if you if you do a Google Lens on that, and you look and you can't see very many of them in the Google Lens, that'll tell you it's worth something because it means there's not that many out there. I mean, that goes for most things. Okay, next thing we've got here is a shirt that most people wouldn't know what this is, but if you're seasoned and you've aged like a fine wine, such as myself, then you will remember the United Colors of Benetton. It was a huge brand back in like the late 80s, early 90s. They specialized in high-end clothing. It all had this very like color block look to it. Think like kidcore kind of esque look. And their whole thing was like uniting all of the colors of the world together. And so they used models from, they're one of the first companies actually to really use models from like all different kinds of like countries and ethnicities and shapes and sizes and colors and all that stuff. They're kind of one of the first companies that did that. And they're most famous for like their color blocking stuff. Some of their stuff, some of the really old stuff, can be worth some good money, as in like $100 to $200 for some of the pieces, some of the more higher end designer pieces. So keep your eyes out for that. United Colors of Benetton. I don't know if they're still around. If they are, they're not as relevant as they used to be. But if you can find that older stuff, man, they are always bangers. So I got this. I picked this up at a sale for $1. I saw it and I knew exactly what it was. And with shipping and everything, it sold for $26 for a total profit of about $20. So this is definitely not one of the hugest bangers, but $20 for a used t-shirt, I will take it any day. And this is going to Chris it's going up to Pflugerville. So this shipping on this should be ridiculously inexpensive for me because it's not even going that far. All right, and we got 07. Let's take a look and see what our shipping is. Cole says, I understand Spain. Yes, no doubt. All right. Yeah, y'all are living in a world of like wintry wonderland. Although I will say it is kind of weird to have like Christmas coming in at 73 degrees, but that's okay. I'll take it. I'll take my aches and pains not happening. So we're looking at $4.21 for shipping. Vicky, if you're still here, I'm wearing your shirt today too. I love this shirt. I think I've worn it more than any shirt I have. All right, Chris in Pflugerville. Let's get this printed out here. And so on this one, not a lot of people are going to know what the United Colors of Benetton are. So using Kid Core and using color blocking is probably what sold this. So don't forget anything that's got any sort of color block. Think Nickelodeon, kind of that like real blocky looking, stripes or whatnot. That is all Kid Core. So KIDCORE, one word. Don't forget to put that in there. Okay, next up we've got, I gotta copy and paste this over, copy and paste it over, and then we will see what we've got next. USPS and paste and mark item as shipped. Okay, let's pop back over to eBay and get these toys and that thing that just sold. So this is a Kiss shirt. It's a really cool Kiss shirt. However, it's an extra small. And because it's an extra small, this is one of those very early purchases. I probably spent too much on it, would be my guess. You want to know how early it is? I didn't even have a thermal printer yet. I was still using Post-it notes on all of my bags. So this is definitely a super early item for sure. All right, and this says, let's go outside. So we're gonna put this in here, and we're gonna get this sent off to whoever just bought this. So I'm gonna guess I spent a couple dollars on this at least, because I would have in the beginning. Maybe not. So we probably made maybe $5 on this. But you know what? It is item number 20. C'est la vie. It is out of my inventory. This is going to Shop RSN in Florida. And let's take a look here. So this is 4 ounces. And we got 8 by 8 by 1. So we are paying $4.46 for shipping. He's paying $5.40 for shipping. Hopefully it covered my original investment. Who really knows? Because I don't remember. We maybe made $5 on that. But c'est la vie, c'est la vie, c'est la vie. Oh, Captain, my Captain, you are out of my inventory, and I'm happy to see you go so I can replace you with something else. So, hey, when you're a new reseller, you are buying all sorts of stuff you probably have no business buying, and that would have been definitely one of those. Stephanie says, oh, wow, I have a couple of vintage United Colors of Benetton sweater, 100% wool on my death pile. Girl! You better get to those, Missy. It is prime wool sale time. Make sure you look those up, Steph, too. Make sure you look those up individually and Google Lens them. Because like I said, there are a couple of serious bangers. United Colors of Benetton had partnered up with, I want to say it was it might have been Ralph Lauren, but I could be wrong about that. At one point, they were partnering up with different designers and doing like collab stuff, kind of before collab stuff was really big. So we're talking like 91, 92-ish, somewhere right in there. And some of those pieces can be like super bangers. So make sure you look them up individually, for sure. Yeah, I'd get those listed. Okay, next we've got those toys. So Jess was nice enough to find us a box, and we are going to put those in the box. And these definitely have seen better days. It's got some turned up corners and stuff like that. That being said, I sold these for $55. So I am not sad on that. I probably paid not even $1 for each of them. So 100% totally worth it for sure. All right, let's get these in here. Lion-O, you're going in. And then let's see who we got. We're going to put Mumra. You're going on top of Lion-O. You guys can battle and duel it out there. Is this going to fit in here? we're going to have to get a little creative, I think. Maybe this is going to work. This is a maybe work. Let's see. This is a might work box. We may have to alter our idea here. Let's see. Him, go there. And then, let's find out. Oh yeah, they'll fit. Perfect. Put up a tiny little bit of bubble wrap there and call him happy. All right. Coley says, just added kid core to my color block pullover listing. You are welcome. Yeah, got to get that kid core in there because that's something that they are specifically looking for. Oh man, I had another word too I wanted to remember for you guys. It was another word for, it wasn't flared or boot cut. It wasn't stovepipe. It wasn't wide. I'm going to have to think about it. I saw someone use a word in a description over on Depop for like a wide-legged ankle, basically like a flare. It wasn't kick boot. Man, I'll have to think about it. All I know is it was some word that was like, oh, I would never have thought to use that. So definitely worth remembering. I can't remember it. So worth remembering, can't remember it. That's a story and I'm sticking to it. All right, let's get our big guy out here. And here we go. Get this off there. And that done. All right, how do you feel in there, guys? You feel pretty good. I think you feel good. All right, that's got to be over a pound. All right, so we're going to go over to the old pirate ship on this one. This is going to Rob in Nevada. Rob in Nevada. Copy that and over and ship. And let's take a look. See what we see. Okay, Rob in Nevada. What is our weight? Is looks like 115 on that. Captain 102 pounds. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That's close. That's a close one, kids. So we got 18 by 7 by 6, 18, 7, 6, 18 by 7 by 6. And we are going to pay a total of $8.80. And then we'll see what he paid here in just a second. Copy that, print it out, and print it out. Printing, please. And he paid $10.80, so we made a couple bucks on that. So after eBay fees, I would say we probably made like 43 or 44 bucks on that. So not too shabby. All right, that's the one to go UPS. And I'm going to put a fragile sticker on that just so people don't stick stuff on top of that. Like I said, I never know if these things actually work, but I like to think that they do. I don't know. They probably don't do anything, but that's okay. All right, we're going to go back over and get the tracking in this area here. And then we'll move on to our next platform. Man, we sold a lot. Holy smokeronos. All right, Poshmark. I doubt I sold much on Poshmark. You know, I switched over. So I'm going to always give you guys a honest review on stuff. And so I tried doing something different. So I got rid of my auto posher because all I was using auto posher for was to share my Poshmark listings and share my closet. I wasn't using it for anything else. And so everyone said, oh, try Flip because Flip will allow you to share your closet, and follow people and it doesn't cost you anything. And I'm like, well, that sounds great. Well, there's always a catch to free, right? So on Flip, you have to go in every day and activate it, meaning I have to activate my Poshmark likings, I have to activate my Poshmark shares, and half the time it glitches out halfway through. So I joined a Flip Facebook group, made friends with a person over there. She told me that as much as she wants to say good things about Flip and she really likes Flip, she said that she has the same issues over there where it just like glitches out and just stops working. So I think I'm going to price out and figure out what's the least expensive option for me. Is it less expensive for me to use Autoposher? Or is it less expensive for me to use Swift Seller? Swift Seller is something I used before I knew about Autoposher. I stopped using Swift Seller and started using Autoposher because at the time, Vendu couldn't send out offers on things, and I needed something that could send out offers and share my closet. Well, Vendu now sends offers on things, so I don't need that portion of it. So I'm just going to price it out. So my take on Flip is it's just probably not for me. Now, if you're new to the game and you're trying to kind of maybe budget a little bit and you're trying to keep your costs low and you don't mind going in, every morning and doing it, or you don't mind going in every day and checking to make sure it's not glitched out. If you want to add that into your like repertoire of your day, cool. But that I just can't. I won't remember to do it. I'm already doing so many things. It like feels almost like overwhelming, the thought of like doing one more activity like that. So anyways, I'm just going to always let you guys know what I think. And, that's kind of how I feel about, about Flip. So now, does it work for other portions of it? It may. This might just be it doesn't work great, for sending offers or doing follows. Maybe it works great for everything else. And is a very inexpensive option. However, time is money, money is time. And if I have to go in and constantly be doing something or checking on something, that's just taking time away from listing, in my opinion. So B says Palazzo balloon harem for pant leg. No, I've seen Palazzo balloon. I haven't seen that one. Zooey V, no, it wasn't any of those three. No, it was like a really like basic. It was, I want to say it was like wide leg, but it wasn't. It was something so basic that's like, oh, of course. And mainly the reason I was thinking about it is because the depop generation, the lingo for stuff is totally different than the lingo like on eBay or Poshmark because you're dealing with like a younger population. When I think of it, I will write it. When I see it or remember it, I will write it down this time so that I can remember to say it because I want to include it on my listings too. And I can't believe I can't remember what it was. Logan says, I love Autoposher, but I'm very part-time, so I need it to be my brain. Yeah, I hear you. And here's the thing. I think Autoposher is great too. Like I have literally nothing bad to say about Autoposher at all. I didn't have any issues with it. I was just thinking if I can do a free option, especially because I'm not using Autoposher literally for anything except for just sharing and following because I use Vendu for all my listing, my cross listing, my offers, my bulk delist and relist. Literally just the Poshmark sharing closet thing is the only thing they don't have over there yet, which I'm sure they're probably working on. So yeah, I just hate spending the money just to share my Poshmark closet. It just seems so silly. So that's why I was thinking Flip would be a good option, but not if I have to go in and do a bunch of stuff every day. I know that sounds so silly, but it's just one more thing to remember, and I just need things to be like automatic. So, oh, by the way, that was a 2010 Lacoste Blue Sport t-shirt. Picked it up for $1, sold for $24. I think it would have sold for more, except for it was a men's medium. It was a Y2K, which was pretty cool. So if it had been a large, I think I could have gotten probably closer to like 32. If it had been an extra large, I probably could have gotten closer to like 35 to 36 on it. But it was a medium. You take what you can get. It was $1. Okay, next thing we've got, this is really cool. So this is a Y2K Ben & Jerry's Vermont Finest tie-dye shirt. picked this up for $1 at this really strange garage sale. So I think it's a perfect one for like the hippie shirt here. So I go to this garage sale and this guy's like old school kind of hippie dude, but not that old, but he like is like an old kind of like, he's like has that whole like Jerry Garcia thing going on, but he's probably only like in his like early 40s. Anyways, so he's like deadheady part 2. And so I get there and there's like all this tie-dye stuff and a lot of it you can tell is like homemade and stuff, but I see this shirt. Now it had been raining outside, so everything's like wet and I'm going through it, but I saw this shirt and I saw a couple other kind of cool things and I go up to pay. I had like a Pac-Man thermos, which I already sold, and a couple other things, and I go up to pay and I'm like, hey, how much do you want for this? And he's like, you know what, man, like whatever you want to give me, like I'm just out here like just trying to like share the love and get rid of some stuff. And I was like, whoa, I've never had someone at a garage sale be like, what do you want to give me? I was honestly like, normally I pay like $1 an item. Does that work? And he's like, yeah, man, that sounds great. He's like, no, wait, I gotta get like $2 for that thermos, man. And I'm like, okay, $2 for the thermos. So I go to pay him. And he's talking to this guy, and you guys know me. I want to turn and burn a garage sale in under 3 minutes. And so I'm trying to pay, and this other guy is like talking to him, and he's like, so what's going on with, Fluffy or whatever the dog's name was? And, oh, North Carolina, take your shirt up. Take your shirt on your head like a helicopter. Anyways, so he's talking to this guy, and he's like, what's wrong with, Maggie or Fluffy or whatever this dog's name was? And he goes, I don't know, man, like, we just, like, I gave her some new food, and, like, all of a sudden, she's just, like, eating her fur. No, man, like, eating her fur off her body. And I am just standing there with, like, my $5, and I just want to pay him. The guy's like, it's like, dude, I can't believe that's happening. That's so rough. And I'm like, oh, your little dog is having problems. And he's like, yeah, man. He's like, dude, this dog. And, like, I took her in, and then, like, bro, I just gave her some new food, and she's, like, eating her body. And so I'm like, I can't think this is happening. So I'm like, okay. I was like, well, I didn't want to sound condescending, but I was like, have you thought about switching her back to the old food? And he goes, yeah, no, I've been thinking about that. I'm like, oh, cooked. You are cookie boy. Like, so cooked. Lived a long life. I mean, I gave him my $5 and I was on my way. Anyways, so this is going to Lorraine in North Carolina. Lorraine, congratulations. You are getting a shirt with a story. It was such a weird garage sale. It totally reminded me so much of this place I used to live in Washington State. There's this place called Port Townsend. And Port Townsend is literally like you took a Grateful Dead concert and then you took really also rich people and you smashed them together. We called them yippies. They were like rich hippies. And they all lived together. So they all talk like they have no money and they're like all these like super old deadhead fish people, yet they're like multi-millionaires that do like software development or something. So it's really an interesting place. That's where that guy needs to move. All right, next up, it was like an episode of that 70s show. That's exactly right, Logan. It's totally what it was. They were just like that guy had definitely had some party favors before doing the garage sale, for sure. All right, next up we've got, and I think that's going to be these ones here. Yeah, so this is a pair of 1998 Levi's 550 relaxed stonewashed jeans. What made these a little bit unique is the Levi's label was actually upside down. It's not a big E, it's a small E. Didn't make them worth a ton more, but these were probably like $17 jeans. And I wound up selling them for $20. So a couple extra little dollars on that. Nothing, not too big, but got them for $1. So no worries, bro. Totally. Oh my gosh. And this is coming from a girl whose name is Charity, whose parents got married on a hilltop wearing matching red wedding dresses and like daisy chains around their heads. Because they were like hippies for sure. My dad still wears his hair long in a braid with a little piece of leather tied at the end to like keep the braid together. It's kind of adorable. All right, so this is going to James in Kentucky. James in Kentucky is going to get himself a nice cool little pair of pants with an upside down on the label. All right, goes in here, and all of this stuff on Poshmark. Don't forget to make sure you use the free shipping supplies on that. And James is getting some coffees, and he's getting a thank you card, and we're gonna bundle these up real nicely. And I think I might use a real piece of tape to tape this one down here. Usually I use just the little post office tape stuff that I get for free. I just get these rolls of tape for free on USPS.com. But every once in a while I'll get something and I'm like, I should probably use a little real tape in addition to the regular tape. All right, still in there. And I think we are getting full on our bag here, folks. Post office is gonna be happy at the post office today. And we're going to mark that as shipped. All right, what do we got next? Man, we have shipped a lot of stuff today, guys. We have shipped a lot of stuff. All right, next is a pair of shoes, which must have just sold. Hey, Jess, I just sold a pair of shoes. Can you hear me? Thank you. All right, while he gets those, we will go over to Mercari and see what we sold over there. All right, so it looks like over there we have a pair of jeans. So I'm guessing that's these are these. So these are a little pair of sevens, not to be confused with Seven of Mankind. They are two different brands. However, these were a nice little boot cut with slim. They had a medium wash, some nice whiskering. I picked these up for $1. I knew that they would sell. Seven jeans aren't like a huge money maker, but they tend to sell for me as long as I'm getting them with a Western or a boot cut or like a wide ankle. The slim cut ones, kind of like the emo circa 2012-ish look, not as much. I would probably leave those as a pass unless they were like a larger size. Like if they were like a 12 or something, maybe, but thanks, babe. All right, so this is going in here. And hey, would you do me one more favor? Would you warm up my coffee for me? It's like ice cold. I would be forever in your debt if you would.
Less talky, more drinky.
I know, right? I'm trying. Clay says, in your spare time, could you make TikTok reenactments of your garage sale experiences? That's kind of fun. That's kind of a good idea. Yes, in the spare time. I still haven't finished the keywords list. Dude, I tell you guys, when I say I am like an actual like workaholic situation, I am not kidding you. Like, it's, I just love it. I love making money. I love doing this. Like, I work some nutty hours doing this. But I got big goals, guys. I really, by this time next year, I have it like set in my mind that we are going to be making six figures doing this. So, I got a ways to go. I'm not making six figures yet, but I see so many other resellers doing it, you know, that, have been doing it longer than I have. And so, you know, I've really only been full-time, like actual full-time for like, April, May, June, July, August, September. Maybe like 8 months, but I don't even know that I would say 8 months. I think it's been that long. Probably more like 6 months. It's probably more like 6 months. Because before that, I just wasn't consistent. So, yeah. So I would probably say closer to like, whoa, wait. Did that go? Oh, this is one of those every once in a while. So every once in a great, oh, no, this is Mercari. Just kidding. I forgot we were on Mercari. Just kidding. I put it in the wrong package. I was going to say every once in a great while on Poshmark, you will sell things and it will go UPS, but it's for electronics. So I got it. Wrong envelope. Good thing I have 350,000 of those. Wrong envelope. Just kidding. I'm putting them in here. I was like, wait a second. I was like, that didn't feel right. I'm like, why am I putting that in a UPS thing? All right, moving right along. Okay. Now we're going to put this on the right. Now we're going to put the right label on. There we go. Perfect. Now it's correct. And I'm going to tape down the edges just because I already took this off once. On your labels, guys, you can use tape on your thermal labels. Just make sure that it doesn't go over any of the writing. If you put tape over your thermal writing, it'll actually lighten the writing. So you just make sure you type in, just putting a little tape along the edges. All right, go on back here. Okay, and let's go back here to Mercari, and we will mark as shipped. Confirm said. I confirm it. You confirm it. We all confirm it. Mercari's so funny. It always opens up like 48 windows for everything I do on Mercari. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. All right, let's take a look. Do you have anything else over there? I usually literally sell like 1 or 2 items a week over there. It is not much. Okay, so back over to Poshmark. We got to get these boots sold. Okay, so this is one of those, this is in early pickup. And y'all know what I mean when I say this. Like, you get, so much. You get something. Oh, honey, that's so tasty. Oh, did you put a little extra pumpkin in it? Oh, it tastes perfect. Whatever you did, you added love. So I don't pick this kind of stuff up anymore. When I was first garage sailing and I would see like a new in-box pair of shoes, I would pretty much almost always pick them up. However, there are so many what I would call like fast fashion shoes out there now that it has become like I go to a garage sale and I'll see like 14 pairs of like fast fashion shoes, and I don't pick them up anymore. I only pick up shoes at garage sales if the aesthetic is something I know I can immediately sell, meaning like they are like Western boots. It doesn't really matter what brand they are, they'll sell right now, or combat boots, anything like 90s looking, that stuff will sell. So I just don't pick these kind of things up anymore because I found that I was spending more money really than I'm making. So anyway, that is, this is kind of one of those, like, not maybe a mistake pickup, but I wouldn't pick it up again. So I got these. Man, I've had these listed, you guys, for so long. Like, the picture in these is my old house. I have been in our new house for, 13 months now? So I've been here for 13 months, and these are from my old house. So that tells you, like, how long they have been listed. So needless to say, little pair of Lucky Steps. I probably paid like $3 or $4 for these, and I probably shouldn't have. They sold on Poshmark for $14. So definitely not worth it. They've probably just been like relisting and relisting and relisting for Lord knows how long now. So hey, we all have those items. Another thing I am happy to see leave my inventory. Every time I go in my inventory room, I saw this box. So I am so stinking happy that they are sold. And it's nice too because they're on Poshmark, pay the fees, but I can just toss them in this box and make life real easy. So let's get these printed out here. So let's see what our total profit is. So our profit's $11. I probably honestly spent like $5 on these, I bet you. So I probably made like $6 on these. That's okay. They're out of the inventory. Always, always, always happy to see that stuff go. And for those of you that have not been reselling as long, you will know exactly what I mean at some point here, where you've had stuff for a year and a half listed and you're like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. These are going to Krista in Seattle, Washington, which is hilarious because I got these from a garage sale in Bremerton, Washington. So they're going back to Washington. Okay, and then we've got a grailed item. It looks like, holy smokes, you guys. This is a lot of stuff today. I didn't realize we had sold so much. It's funny because you sell stuff like over the weekend, but I'm not like, oh, that's 4 items sold. That's 8 items sold. I'm just like not thinking about it because I'm busy. And so it's always funny when you start adding everything up and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I sold so much stuff. Okay, so we've got a jacket. Okay, so this is a really sweet find. This is a brand new, basically dead stock 1990s Corvette. This is an embroidered jacket. When I say this thing was crisp, it was crisp. So I got a whole bunch of Corvette stuff from this guy. I bought like a bulk thing of it. He had gotten this from a convention in Vegas in the 90s when he purchased his first Corvette. I got to hear all about it. I bought it from him for $5 and it sold for $53 over on Grailed, which is fantastic. So love those sales. Those are always a nice way to round out the day. And this person is going to be like hella stoked on the condition of this jacket because I listed it as used because technically it's not new, but I'm telling you right now, I don't think that this has ever even been worn. Like the guy that I got it from, it sounded like he had gotten it with his car, but it sounded like maybe his body size had never fit it. So it had just been sitting with all this old vintage Corvette stuff. I wish I could have gotten everything that he had because he had like a lot of really great bangers, but some of the stuff he wanted like crazy prices for it. And there just wasn't like enough ROI for me to like want to spend on that. There wasn't enough return on my investment for me to spend that money on it. So I was like, so I passed on some of it. And then what he let me get for a good price I got. So now with Grailed, there's no way to mark your item as shipped. It just immediately flips over to shipped once it is scanned at the post office. And this is going UPS. All right, I think that's everything, guys. Let's go over our inventory. Oh, we got to respond to offer. Yep, I'm not doing that. So I have this dead stock 1997 Pioneer. It's a 12-disc multi-disc CD player. It's literally still in its box, which is crazy, at 1997. And I'm asking $139, which I think is being generous. I could probably ask more, but I want to turn and burn. So I will do 20% off, which would be $26 off. So $139 minus 26 would be $113. I'll even do $110. But that is the absolute lowest that I would go. So what I'll do is I'll write 110 and then I add a message and I just have text replacement in my phone. So I wrote lowest I can, and then it'll pop up with lowest I can go. Hope this works for you. Sometimes I'll say like, if you can meet me closer to the asking price, but if I'm like, this is it, I'm not going any lower than this. Then that's the best I'll do. I'm not going to go any lower than that because it's something that I know will sell. I'll sit on it for a minute. I got no problem doing that. Okay. And then let's take a look. Anything else here? Anything else on Depop? I think that's going to be everything. It looks like it. Wow. So we shipped quite a bit, you guys. I would say we probably got 25, 30, maybe 30 things today. I would say something right in there. So not bad for a weekend. All right, you guys. Well, YouTube, you got my undivided attention today. Because the old TT, my iPod died. So thanks you guys for following me on here. If you follow and watch on here, you do get a little bit of a better and wider angle view of the shipping and photographing scenario. So you're welcome to join me over here at any time. Plus, I'm trying to get my watch hours up over on YouTube, which would be great because it's saying I don't have enough watch hours. So anyways, okay. Thanks you guys so much for joining me. I will be back on tomorrow. I believe, maybe, I think so. If not, I do have a Jamble show tomorrow. So if you guys have a chance to go in to Jamble. I'm doing that plush sale tomorrow. It's right here. Just, you know, join in if you can, hang out, be goofy. It'll be a little different than the t-shirt ones because we're doing plush. I've never done it before with anything besides t-shirts. So it should be interesting. All right, you guys, thanks for joining me. Bye, everybody.